Okay, so we're really lucky enough to have here Robin Cowie, the producer of the Blair Witch Project. Unfortunately, most of the questions have actually been covered, but no harm in actually having a bit of a one-to-one with you.
Sure.
So basically, you said that the main the influence and the idea for the actual film came while you were in film school.
Well, we first started talking about the film
Yeah.
while we were in film school, but really, Dan and Ed were really fans of a lot of those early kind of the Bigfoot footage, or that kind of filmmaking.
Yeah.
There was a television series called In Search Of.
Okay.
That kind of did a lot of these things that were supernatural, but it did really realistically. Leonard Nimoy was like the host of it, and it was really cool. And so a lot of times that's what they really talked of as inspiration for the movie.
Okay, so that was the inspiration, and then you guys basically, they managed to rope you in to produce it. Was it like a case of you guys all knew each other to begin with, or?
We all knew each other in film school, and then we'd all gone our separate ways.
Yeah.
Greg had gone out to LA and had had come back and really wanted to get into producing, and Ed had been up north. We'd all scattered for about 5 years. And then we came back together, and we're trying to figure out how to make it, and that's when I got involved. And from that point, it took us about 2 years before we finally, sold it at Sundance. So.
And that was actually just finding sponsors, or actually just pitching the idea to someone?
Well, really working on the creative, casting. We did almost a year of casting,
it took
and
a
then
long
raising
time.
money, and then really, creating a lot of the backstory and figuring out what we were going to do for the documentary, and writing that outline. I mean, that's what we were working on during those 2 years.
It seems like the shortest thing that actually took place within the film was the actual filming itself.
Yeah,
was
those
it
8
in, like,
days.
8 days. That's like
yeah.
amazing.
Well, and it was 8 days for that, but then when we did the documentary stuff, that took a lot longer. And we would do very specific things that we would have to go, like the Rustin Parr film was actually kind of one of the most challenging things to create.
Oh, right,
because
okay. Why was that?
We shot it in this just like tourist attraction in Florida that was an actual prison. But then we had to, we needed to do 1940s period, and we needed all the cameras and all of that stuff, and make it, shoot it on film.
So you actually used the proper period cameras for the time, and you managed.
Yeah, we went to a lot of degree, not only on that, but then on all of, the Sci-Fi Special had a lot of, documents that we created, or, photographs, a lot of photograph work that we had to basically fake, so.
Was there at any point a time when you just thought, oh my word, what am I actually letting myself in for? This is just, it's not going to happen.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah, we were really hoping to get into Sundance, and it was, days were going by and going by and going by.
Just thought,
and then, yeah, and then we got in, and we got into the midnight screening, and now midnight screenings are really big and popular, but at the time, midnight screening was actually like a really bad place to be. And at one point
It was still there though.
Well, yeah, you were still, ultimately that was the
On the
decision we
outskirts.
made. Yeah, that was ultimately a decision we made. It was like, well, yeah, it's Sundance, so we'll go.
Yeah.
But we were really considering, because there was another festival that offered us a premiere slot, and we almost took that instead of Sundance. So I'm glad we went with the Sundance
thing. You made the right choice.
So
you made the right
yeah,
choice.
I mean, and those kinds of decisions, there's thousands of them that happen on a movie like this. So look, I think we had a great idea, but it was the right time and the right place, and then we were very, very fortunate to work with a lot of really talented, smart people.
And you also touched on the marketing aspect of it as
Yeah,
well. I was interested in wondering whether or not it was kind of, the idea was built around a way that you could kind of advertise it, if that makes sense, or whether it was something that just popped up
look,
afterwards.
we were definitely looking to promote the movie and get people interested in the movie, but what we were trying to do was
make a different horror film.
Well, we were trying to make a scary movie. The different part of it and we wanted to make an original film, but that kind of came out of necessity as well, because it was the way that we thought we could do it. And then as far as the marketing was concerned, we were trying to kind of make the marketing an extension of the storytelling.
Yeah, it certainly did that as well.
So that anything that somebody came to, it wasn't just a marketing message, it was actually something that they had value and they could really get into. And,
got their money's worth, basically. Buy a cinema ticket and you were...
Yeah, I mean, you know, Blair was, you know, we did a book, we did obviously the documentary, but then there were games, and there were, you know, there was all kinds of additional elements.
One thing after the other led on.
Yeah, and it wasn't, we had our hands involved in all of that. You know, we had our hands involved in crafting the story. So we were very fortunate that way because the distributor was kind of a young distributor, and we were very fortunate that they just embraced us being involved in it. So yeah, everything from like the missing posters that, you know, we put up these missing posters on college campuses. That was our.
That was pretty inspired, to be honest. Yeah.
With the numbers, so you could call the number.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Brilliant, and just really quickly because obviously.
Yeah, people are coming in.
You have got some ideas about your sequel basically coming out, which is very exciting. Have you got? Well, you said it's already been touched on, but that is quite exciting. You're going to be producing that, hopefully, if that goes into
If we get the privilege of making that movie, then yeah, I'll be producing. We've been working on the creative on it for a long time. You know, it was very difficult to. We don't want to do the same thing. We think that the world is a really rich world, and there's lots of scary stories to be told within that world. Yeah. So really, it was working really hard to come up with a new way to tell the story.
So anything that you're going to be involved with is actually going to be focused on the scary aspect of film. You're not going to be branching out to anything maybe nice and fluffy with rabbits in it, or anytime soon.
No bunny rabbits, although there might be rabid bunny rabbits. You never know. Rabid bunny rabbits always have their place. That zombie, you know, it's always good to have a bloody rabbit in there somewhere. So. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I mean, definitely there are questions that have not been answered in this movie, and I think that if we didn't answer some of those questions, then we wouldn't be doing our job.
Tie the ends up.
So it's a challenge, you know, but we're going to give it our best.
Well, you've been quoted as one of the best endings of a film, so that's splendid. And just really quickly, just your thoughts. Obviously, you're staying to watch some of the films tonight on Night of the Dead. What has actually caught your eye? What are you really looking forward to watching?
Well, I haven't been able to see a lot of films, but this one that's coming up right now, I'm actually looking forward to seeing.
Right, the stage.
No, right. No, it's great to be here in Leeds, and I know
you've had a good experience.
I've had a great experience.
Is this your first Leeds?
This is my first Leeds experience, and hopefully not my last. Hopefully not my last. I'd love to be back here. But,
yeah, brilliant.
But yeah, it's great. It's fun. It's always a privilege to be at film festivals. So.
And it's a privilege to have met you and talked to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
And hopefully the next film.
Thank you.